Good morning, guys. Oh, well, good afternoon, wherever you are. How have you guys been? How is your summer so far? This is Brenda again. If you're new joining this channel, watching this video, you'll be watching this video. I'm just going to quickly discuss the whole e-visa application for the US. Not for the US, for Uganda. I'm sorry, guys, for Uganda. I've seen so many people having posts online on Facebook talking about the process and how tiresome this is. But I'm just going to tell you my experience, what I did, and maybe share a few tips here and there. If you're thinking of traveling to Uganda and you're a non-Ugandan passport holder, this might be very, very helpful for you. So, who needs a Ugandan visa? So, previously, a few years back, you could just travel to Uganda and then get your visa at the airport, at Entebbe airport, at the port of entry to the country. And they would just ask you questions, take your fingerprints, and then you would be, of course, if you qualify to get a visa, if you're not a criminal, whatever, you'll definitely then you would get a visa entry to Uganda right there at the airport. They just stamp in your passport and put in your visa, depending on what you're going to do there. Usually it could be 30 days visa, it could be 60 days, it could be 90 days, depending on the type of visa that you're trying to get. So anyways, but since then things have changed. Everything is electronic. So you cannot travel to Uganda without your visa ahead of time. So what do you need to do? And most airlines are actually asking for this at the point of your departure, like at your airport when you're departing, let's say the US, and you're going to Uganda, they will ask you for that visa approval letter. So this is what happens. You do it online and the process is actually quick. The system might have a few glitches here and there while you're in it, but I can promise you that it clears out after a few tries. You can switch up like numbers. Let's say they're asking for your date of birth. You put in August and you see it not doing anything. You can just switch that and put in like January 1st and then see if that works, and then go back and put in the right information and then keep going forward. Give it maybe 1, 2, 3 tries, and I promise you it will be working. But if you're there, you're watching, please let me know if you can actually hear me, if my audio is good. So who needs or who doesn't need a Ugandan visa? So you can look this information up online. It's there. They will show you different countries that do not need an entry visa to Uganda. And a few I could mention COMESA countries. That's Angola, Eritrea, Malawi, Zambia, Kenya, Zimbabwe. Mention those. You can look up this information ahead of time to plan ahead of time for your travel to avoid any surprises when you get there or when you get to that airport on your departure. And then if you're East African, so East Africa includes Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya, South Sudan, and Rwanda, of course, plus Uganda. So if you are a citizen of those countries, then you do not need a visa to enter Uganda. And then if you get the Ugandan visa, I think it actually qualifies to travel in the rest of the East African countries while you're there. So that covers it because of the East African community rules agreement that happened a few years ago. And then also other islands like Bahamas, Grenada, Jamaica, Singapore, Gambia, name it. Again, you can look up this information online. If you're, let's say, a Grenadian, you're from Grenada and you need a visa to Uganda, you can always put in, do I need a visa to Uganda? Or if you can contact your travel agencies, they can also help you out to figure out whether you need a visa or not. But you have to apply for this ahead of time. This is what I'm trying to tell you, people. Ahead of time could be 3 months in advance, 2 months in advance. Don't wait until a week before you travel to try and get this going. You might get surprises here, and then you'll be frustrated and thinking the system does not work, but because you need to be prepared as well, way ahead of time for these things. It's just like any other country. You don't just wake up and come to the United States, people. No, you apply, you get approved, they call you in for an interview, you do fingerprints. It's a process. It's a process. So let's treat the Ugandan visa as well as any other processes. So I wanted to share quickly here again. So those are the countries that do not need visas to Uganda, but the rest, please, yes, you do need an electronic visa, and this is done online. The process is easy. I will show you here. Let me see if I can share my screen real quickly. Let's see. Okay. Applying. Let's see. Let's see, I'm just trying to share screen here. Ugandan visa application. So it's coming up. Let's make it bigger into full screen. Okay, so now you guys can see that right there on the side. So this is the page. This is the official page that you guys can visit, and this is how the process works. You can read all this, visiting this. Okay, and then you can start a new application. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and it clearly shows you what you need to do. So if I start the process here, it's going to show me yes, read all this stuff, and definitely hit accept. Now, as you can see, it will ask you for these things. It will ask you select the type of application. So here, if you just there as a visitor, you could just do entry permit, student pass, dependent citizenship, a certificate of residence. So let's say just do visa if I'm just going to be a visitor. And then category here, I don't remember what that does. And then here you could say transit, East African tourist visa, ordinary tourist visa is what I would do if I'm just going there to visit for a few days, a month, 30 days, 90 days. But depending on, this could vary from me. Me and you could not have the same things. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Thanks for joining. So you choose all those things, and then it will take you to the next step. So let's say ordinary visa here, single entry. Yeah, cool. So, and then it will start to show you here what else you need. It actually gives you all these documents: a letter stating reasons for your transit, cover letter dealing with this, immigration status of host family, invitation this and this, vaccination yellow card, and the application fee is $50. So this is the amount that you pay. So I know some of the other websites still have the $100 fee, but it's actually $50. So this is the amount that you pay for the Ugandan visa. And then after, of course, they do this, so they show you that. And I would want to show you how the yellow fever card looks like, guys. So this is the yellow fever card, yellow fever vaccination card. This is if you got yours from Uganda, of course. You can't see it, but it looks like this. It's a yellow looking card, and it's the same thing if you get it from the US. It also looks almost the same, but it might have different wordings and different layouts, but they all put in the same exact information. They'll have a page where you put in to satisfy, that's your name, date of birth, nationality, so and then the type of vaccine that you're getting. Now, all this, if you're, let's say, an American, stop sharing here now for now. If you're an American, you have, where are my passports here? And let's see, yeah, so you hold this passport. Usually after you get that book, most times make sure you travel with it within your passport like this. And then also for the Ugandan passport, this is an older passport. They've since then changed. This one still gets you inside the country if you're a Ugandan, but then I think coming back might be a problem, or they still actually allow it up to some time. But ask your embassy to make sure you get the right information. Otherwise, these have since changed to East African passports, and they have a different color. It's a different blue. So, and you can also go through the website and apply for these. Or if you get to Uganda, you can actually also apply for them while you're on ground in Uganda. So this is the Ugandan passport, and then this is the American passport. And again, this is how the card looks like. You can't see it. It's the light is too bright. So, but anyways, where can you get the yellow fever vaccinations? So these most countries, I mean, most hospitals do not give these vaccinations. So they will send you to the travel clinics. You can Google which travel clinics are near your place or near where you stay, which you can access. But you could also talk to your doctors, your personal physicians, to see what they recommend, who they recommend. Sometimes they have people that they know or clinics that they've worked with in the past, they could just recommend. Now, things that you should know: this yellow vaccine is not covered by insurance most times. So you have to, the travel clinic will charge you on your card or cash or check or card, yes, credit card or whatever. But I think for the boys, I paid about 400 something each, $460. Now this might be different price for, I don't know if you're in a different state or in a different clinic, but the travel clinic that we use that was recommended by the hospital that we go to charges $460 to get that single shot. And now this shot is good for a lifetime. So not every time you're going to be going back to Uganda or any other countries that actually require you to have a yellow fever vaccine that you'd have to be taking another shot. No, this is for a lifetime. So you get it one time and you'll never have to do it again. So it's a single shot. And then what else do you need to know? So also the travel clinic will try to advise, if you're traveling to Uganda, for example, to have a typhoid vaccine, like to get that shot, because typhoid is still in Uganda. You can still get it, and it's not fun. So, but that's optional. The Ugandan government does not require you to have that before you enter the country. And then some other thing that I would advise is anti-malarials. If you're traveling to Uganda, please ask your doctor, if for your children or for yourself, if they could prescribe for you anti-malaria drugs. These are tablets that you take depending on your size. So the doctor will recommend what your dosage will be like. So for the kids, I saw like my kids will be taking like one tablet a day or 1.5 a day for a week before they travel, and then also a week after they get back. And sometimes they would recommend like to taking them the entire time they're there. But I think if you take them the week before you travel and the week after you get back, you are good to go. But yes, anti-malaria drugs are very, very helpful. And malaria is still very present in Uganda. So you definitely need to take these drugs. They will prescribe them for you. Like my doctor prescribed them for me, and we got them from CVS, which we paid like about $10 to get the drugs. But if you go through the travel clinic, they will recommend them, they will get them for you, but the price might be more. So just things to note. So all these things you should think about way ahead of your time to travel. Don't start thinking about them a week or a month before you travel, especially if you already got your passports. Please start working on these things as soon as you can so that you're not in panic when it's almost time for travel. Good. So those are things that I wanted to share with you guys. And what documents do you need? You need a passport size photo, like the ones that in your passport. So that picture, you do need one. Passport bio page, that's a page that has all your information. Like on that page, if I would say, so on that page that has your names, your date of birth, your place of birth, date of issue, date of expiration. So that page that has a picture on and has more of your information. So that is, they need a copy of that page. You could take a picture and upload those pictures on as you're applying from your phone as well. You just have to make sure that the sizes are the recommended sizes. And it's also very easy. You could actually take those pictures with your phone and email them to yourself. Now, when you go to your emails, there's a word tools on top. You can actually resize that document to the required document size. Or you could also convert that document into a PDF. Now, if you convert it to a PDF, the PDF automatically, when you're uploading, it shrinks it to the desired size. Otherwise, you're going to get an error all the time if the picture is big, if the document is bigger than the required size. It's not going to go through, and then you get frustrated. It will keep bringing you a red error message. Hey, this is Africa. Thanks for joining. We're just talking about things that you need to visit Uganda in terms of visa, in terms of vaccinations, in terms of documents. So yes, you need a passport size photo, a picture of it. If you still have the one, like the ones you took for your passport, you have one in your wallet somewhere, that works just perfectly fine. Or you could take a picture of yourself and then resize it to that exact size that they need. And then passport bio page, yellow fever vaccine card, this yellow card, and then invitation or recommendation letter. Now, if you're going to visit somebody there, please let them know that you need an invitation letter. It's just like any other country. Why are you entering their country? I'm going to visit Brenda. Oh, does Brenda know that? How do we know that she's the one who invited you? So I have to write you an invitation letter, welcoming or inviting you into my country, Uganda, or any other person who will be hosting you. If you don't have any person who will be hosting you, you're going in as a tourist, then you can put a hotel. It will also depend on the type of visa that you put up. But sometimes if you went through a travel company, the travel company can actually also draft you a letter saying they will be doing your travels, or they're the ones who booked for you, or they're aware that you're going to be in the country. So you need those documents, guys. And so when you go forward and you're done with the whole process of applying, the maximum size is 250 KB for your photo size. All the files have to be that size. And supported formats are PDF, JPEG, PNG, BMP. So the moment you have that page submitted, you go to next. It just keeps taking you to the next page as long as you don't have any errors. If there are any errors, it will show you, and then you can correct them there and then. Keep going next. And then you reach to a point where after you put in everything on those pages, you filled everything the right way, then they will ask you to, then you have to make a payment. So what they do is when that process is done, they submit the stuff, and then they will send you an email with a link where you have to pay. And that link, I think, is good for about 24 hours. So once you get the link, please go in and put in your payment information. This could be your credit card. That's what I used. I used my normal credit card, and that money is not refundable. So once you pay for that, and maybe you decide you're not going anymore, or you're canceling your trip, this money is not refundable. The $50 is not refundable. So go ahead, go into that link, pay, and you'll get an email right away. And then after a day or so, or a few hours, if it's the working week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, not Saturday, you'll get an email saying they've received all your documents, and an immigration person is going to look through them and see if you qualify to get a visa to Uganda. Now, this whole process takes about 1 to 3 days, working days, of course. I promise you, it actually works. 1 to 3 days. If it does not, like, this is what happened for me and my kids, because we just recently applied for this online visas. And for one of my sons, it was funny because he got his like within a day. Like, we applied at night, in the morning his was already approved, and then the rest of us hadn't got ours to be approved. And it was so funny because the youngest and the last one that we submitted the form got the visa before all of us. And then also the other funny thing was, the rest of my family got 90 days. I got 30 days, and yet we all put in the same exact information. So it's stuff like that. I mean, if you're planning to be there longer than 30 days, once you get to the airport, you can actually talk to the immigration guys, or you can call them or email them ahead of time and say, hey, my duration is supposed to be longer than this. This is what I applied online. How come I got only 30 days? And trust me, they will review your application and you'll be good to go. Otherwise, you could just do it in Uganda. Once you're there, extend your stay, just go to the immigration office and you'll have your documents pre-approved and extended your time in Uganda. So, and yeah, so on your third day or so, expect an email, comes in an email. Of course, you've already put in your email address. So check your emails frequently, check your spam, just in case it didn't go to your inbox and went to spam. And once you get that you have to print out that approval letter from the embassy or from immigrations. So that is the letter that you're going to present at the airport of your departure. Let's say I'm departing from Philadelphia International Airport. I have to present that letter to the airline that it's showing that, yes, I'm going to Uganda and my visa has been approved. Just like any other places. When you're leaving Uganda, coming to the United States, you're coming as a visitor, they will ask you for that. You have a visa in your passport, but for Ugandan case, you don't have a visa in your passport. So this approval letter works as a visa in your passport. So you have to print it out. You can have it on your phone as well as backup. You could have a screenshot of it, but print a copy and go with that, please. Yeah, so what else do you need to do? Yeah, I think that's really about what I wanted to tell you guys. Print the approval letter to be presented to the airport. Make sure you you make copies of your documents. As you're traveling, this is not to just Uganda, anywhere. Please make copies of your passports and have them at least saved somewhere in your documents that you can easily access when you're out of the country. You could save them. I wouldn't recommend saving them as photos in your phone, just in case your phone gets stolen, then all your documents are gone. And this is confidential information. So, but you can save them on Google Drive. You could save them in your emails. Maybe, for example, you can email them, scan them, make copies of them, scan them, send them to your emails so that they're saved there. So you can access your emails, wherever you are, and you can access those documents or print them out. In case you lose your passport, let's say in any foreign country, you're able to access those documents. Even the same thing as this, any of those good information that you need to travel with. Your IDs and all that stuff, I always recommend, please make copies of those, have them saved somewhere that you can access them. Now, if you are traveling on like any other visa, a fiance visa, and you're coming back, maybe you're a green card holder, you go to Uganda and you're coming back, please make sure you travel with your marriage certificate somewhere. Yes, this happened to me way before I got my citizenship, and they wanted my marriage certificate to show that I am married in the US, because I had traveled. I was on a green card and I had traveled. Originally was a fiance visa. So if you're a green card holder, carry any other information that you think might be required by the immigration guys on your way back. Otherwise, guys, prepare way ahead of time. Try and try and try so that you don't overwhelm yourself in the last few weeks. Of course, okay, now the trash guys are here and it's going to be loud. So I think if you have any more questions for me, if you need any help, please let me know. Like I was just sharing on the screen here, this is really how the process it looks like. This is the page. This is the official page. If you go in here, I did visa.immigration.go.ug, and it's the Directorate of Citizen and Immigration Control. This is how the page looks like. This is the right page that you need to go to apply for your visa. If you're thinking of doing any safaris in Uganda or any tours, please make sure you also plan those ahead of time so that you don't get there and maybe they say some places are booked out. Look for any trusted tour companies or friends to hook you up with any companies that they know, and you can have all these things set up: hotels, travel, renting a car, or means of transportation. Get this ahead of time. Now here this takes you to a different page. You fill the form. This is how it looks like, guys. I'm just sharing this so that you make sure when you go to apply for this, you're in the right spot, because there could be any other websites out there that have different information. Now, yeah, so this is all you need to put in: your city of residence, your place of birth, all this. Make sure you're going by the information in your passport. So, because if that information is not the same as what is on your bio, that might be a problem on your bio page in your passport. So, like for example, your passport number, that should be that in your passport. Names, just as they are stated in your passport, please. If you're Brenda Demers, put in Brenda Demers as in your passport. If you go ahead and maybe put in Brandon Nengasher, then it might not. Those are two different people. So just make sure all that information is as in your passport. That's why it's recommended to apply for this after you have got your passport and you have it in hand, so that all the information is matching. Yeah, so this is how like everything looks like here. Like I was saying, sometimes the dates here sometimes are funny. So make sure you play around with the years maybe. And then, with the month, you can see like these are not highlighted. So that means it will not let you choose. But you can go ahead and say maybe, like put in like 2014, and then you'll see like all the other months will now be highlighted, so you can choose them. So play around with the numbers here, and then until you get the right one that you're trying to, that is in your passport, or that is what you're looking for. Yeah, so this is all, purpose of visit. It's all straightforward: returning citizen, maybe returning resident, tourism, transit, all these things. Just make sure you put in what describes your travel, what explains your reason for travel, to make sure you don't get any surprises along the way. Have you ever denied this and this and this and this? Of course, then after you're done with this, I don't think it's going to allow me to go anywhere, because I have not filled in all the steps here. So if you have any part that is missing, it will not take you to the next page. Go back and scroll up and make sure. Sometimes it will highlight them in red, meaning those fields were supposed to be filled, or you put in wrong information or not the right information. So it will highlight it as red, so you will not be able to go forward until all that is checked and is in blue, in black, in green, whatever, but not red. And then you're good to go to the last, to go next. So then you'll be able to go to the next page. But guys, that's how, this is all I needed to share with you guys, because I felt like some people might actually get, get help from this. Maybe that information might be helpful. And that's why I wanted to share this video with you, because I just did this process. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And if you like this video, if you find it helpful, please share it with any other people that you think might be traveling to Uganda sometime soon. That would be helpful. That would be great. So otherwise, take care. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend. Thanks for those who joined. And for those who will be watching this video, don't forget to subscribe. I look forward to sharing more videos with you guys. Bye-bye. Let me stop sharing here. Yep. Okay. See you guys. Bye-bye.